Okay, so first today we want to open up our image, right? And then we want to go up and change the mode to grayscale, alright? And then we're going to crop the image, and then we'll resize later. So if it's a double page, then you're gonna crop it like this. And then you're gonna go and resize it. Make sure you click that if it's clicked, okay? You want it to be unboxed. Alright, now here, you go to window, and then I think it's useful if you have your navigator open, but I normally have my layers, navigator, and history window open because it makes things neater for me. Alright, so you can zoom in with the navigator. That's the best thing about it. It makes it really fast. Now you want to click this. It will make a new layer, so you want to click level. And then adjust this to what you see fit. You want the blacks to be black, no grays, okay? You don't want a lot of dust, that's why. And then depending on what you like, you might want to add brightness. Well, you want to decrease the brightness. Because I like things to be really dark. I want to be able to see shadow, you know. So here we're going to duplicate the layer. And then I label it edit, just so you know. And then rename the bottom one raw, because that's going to be the raw. You don't have to rename it, but it's good to be organized. Alright, now we're going to erase the bubbles, alright? So click your brush and then start coloring. We're going to skip a few parts so the video doesn't last too long. Okay, now you have stuff like this where you're gonna need to clone, right? So erase whatever text you can, and make sure you click the clone tool. There's two types. You want the clone stamp tool, alright? Now you want to alt and then click on the pattern that you're gonna be using to clone with. In my case, I would be clicking around here. And then you can just go and clone. Remember, you click Alt on your keyboard and then you target where you're going to clone. It's your clone source. If you just go and click, it's not going to let you clone. Alright? See? Very simple. Most of the time cloning is by eye, so if you're not the type that's going to be patient enough to do this kind of stuff, it's best to split the job where you do the easy part and you get someone else to do the cloning part. Nah, this, I'm actually gonna skip the video a bit, but I'll let it, show you how I cloned this area. Cause it's pattern and it's it's a huge pattern block, so you can get the different patterns from somewhere else. You're not gonna have to redraw anything. Alright, so the end result should look something like this. Now you might have little specks that you want to erase, so you can just go through and erase it by coloring it with white. See? Pretty flawless, right? See, this is the second time I had to redo this, so I'm not gonna go through and erase too much, but I'm just showing you how to do it. Now, we want to click Q, which will make you enter the quick mask, and then you're going to select the paintbrush and then click black, and then you're going to color over the parts that are gray on the side. That's called gutter cleaning, which is what I'm doing right now. And then you click Q again, and then you want to hit inverse, and then Control L, and then you're going to erase that part out. Typically you could just run your paintbrush over, but sometimes there's like, you know, a drawing over there, so you're going to use quick mask. I think that's a bush, but I'm going to erase that because it's really annoying me and I'm not going to redraw that. And you see the lines here, they're not too dark and they're not thick like the other side, so we're going to clone that in and we're going to redraw this line, so don't worry too much about that. Typically when you redraw, you want to click like a dark gray. You never want to go black all the way because you're going to be running through those lines and it's going to look darker than usual, so that's for a future reference, but for now we're just going to clone this line. And remember, like, we're only redoing the line. For the parts that I erased that was like part of the hair, you can just go through and erase that part and then it'll come back out. See? Clone that line up and then we'll be done with this bottom one. Don't worry too much about the lines. Like, I went through and erased it, but I forgot that we could just erase this. I just wanted to make it look all nice and neat. Don't get me wrong, this is typically what you would do if it was like a different kind of image, but see, we can get the hair back by doing this. I don't even have to redraw it, so it's beautiful, right? Alright, to get the brushes to appear like that, you can just right click and then the box of all the brushes will appear rather than you have to go to like the top left corner and select the new brush, you know. And then see, it's looking pretty good, right? Now you wanna probably redraw these two. Typically people won't really notice them, but because the original scan looks like you can see the pages being bent, so we want to redraw it so it's straight. Most of the time when I turn in my stuff, I turn it in the way it normally looks. I hate redrawing just because it's time consuming, but it's like, yeah, sometimes you feel like editing and sometimes you don't. Oh, this is what we use the gray color for, so it matches better. We're not gonna bother redrawing any of the sides because it'll look like the page has been like cut off, like that's how the page ends, alright? Now here you can see that the picture's a little light on the side, so we're gonna do the quick mask again by pressing Q on the keyboard and then Q again, and then inverse. And then we're gonna relevel it to make it dark so that it matches, see? Now, some dust, you see the dust specks there? They appeared, so we want to go and erase them. There's a few ways you can get rid of dust. You can always, use the burn tool, the opposite of burn tool, which is not coming to my head right now, but yeah, you can do that, which makes it lighter, or you can just go through and erase, like what I'm doing right now. Oh, and see, you want to redraw the top. Now, we don't know what the original wall looked like on this scan, but we're gonna attempt to redraw it, but we're gonna try to make it look like the way it looked like when it was bent. So there was like another line under that, so I'm gonna draw that on. And then I'll make it a little longer. So it looks like that. The door I could have redrew, but I'm not going to. Alright, see? It's light there, but then after we did that, we made it look completely darker and more natural. Alright. Well, make sure you save it in PSD, which is the Photoshop document. I'm guessing that's what it stands for. Make sure you type your files to look like this, depending what series name, what volume number, chapter number, page number it is. Alright?